Hi everybody. Today we are talking about family caregiving battles. Battles between spouses, battles between parents and their children, battles between grandchildren and grandparents. There are so many disagreements that happen in families when caregiving becomes the topic. I'm Pamela D Wilson. My website is PamelaDWilson.com. On there, a lot of helpful tips, information, ways to meet with me one-on-one in a consultation, and other helpful information for adults, family caregivers, everybody in between. So in this video, we're going to talk about three things. One is how caregiving battles happen in families. Two is why they happen, the foundation. And three is how we can manage through these battles. So how do these battles start? Let's say that you are a parent taking care of your parents, and you could be a young parent. You could be in your 30s and have children, 50s and have children, 70s and have children. It doesn't matter. But let's say that you are part of a couple who has children taking care of your parents who are actually your children's grandparents. And you need a little bit of help. You're taking care of your parents and you ask your kids to help out. And let's say maybe you have, 3, 4, 5 kids, maybe just 2. And one of the children steps in and helps without hardly even you asking. The other one doesn't lift a finger or says, hey, I can't help, I can't do that. And you're like, great. We'll help. I'll accept the help. We'll go help my mom and dad, your grandparents. But you see your children, 2 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them, kind of start taking sides and pitting themselves against each other and trying to put you in the middle. The part of your children who were very helpful are now talking poorly to you about your other 2 children who didn't help or couldn't help. Now, you're actually okay with the situation. You appreciate the children who stepped in, and you acknowledge that the children who couldn't step in didn't do so for a reason. But now you have all this family discord, these family battles going on that you're watching. And so as that parent, what do? Do you say anything? Do you step in? Do you participate? Let me tell you what happens in most families. The children try to pit the parents against the other children. And I'll take an aside here. This happens in divorces too. So when couples get divorced, one spouse can try to pit the children against the other spouse, and the children can do the same thing. So there's this situation that I call triangulation going on, where one person talks to another person and they say, oh, Mom, my sister Joanne, she is just this horrible person because she's not helping, and I see what stress you're under and how difficult this is for you. You as the parent need to stop that conversation. You need to say to your daughter who's talking about the other one, this is not a conversation that you and I are going to have. If you have an issue with your sister, you go talk to her, but I'm not going to participate in anything that divides our family. I refuse because I love you all equally. That is the way to handle these situations where family members start to take sides. But then what happens if you are a family member, a parent, one of the children, a grandparent, anybody, and this applies to any situation in life, who's having a difficult time because you're judging someone else who was helpful or not helpful. And you think that they are selfish or self-interested or maybe interested in their inheritance, or they have a whole bunch of other issues and you just don't like their behavior. Are you judging them based on your own standards? And this is where elderly parents can be very judgmental of their children who help or don't help. So, for example, your mom or dad are upset with you because you're not as available as they would like you to be, or you're not as reliable as they would like you to be, or you're not doing all the things that they would like you to do. They may be judging your participation as a caregiver based on how they cared for their parents. So if you see these caregiving family battles really stem from our relationship with another person, a parent, a grandparent, family, friends, and they are based on, a lot of times, the expectations that we have for ourselves, or the standards that we have for ourselves that say, I believe that I should do this because it's the right thing to do. And many times we don't take into consideration what's going on in other people's lives or the complications. And here's an example of this. So I was speaking to a caregiver the other day who said, my mom was just constantly complaining about how much care she was having to give my dad and how stressed she was and how it was affecting her health. And, I live 2,000 miles away. So I was just thinking, my mom's making all of this up. It can't be that bad. Until I visited for the holidays and I spent 2 weeks at their house. And oh my gosh, now I understand what my mom's talking about. And I'm much more empathetic, and I realize that I do need to help. So there are situations where we can become judgmental because we really don't understand the situation and we don't understand the life of another person. And this goes both ways. So it can be people who are not caregivers looking in from the outside saying, oh, caregiving can't possibly be that bad. And it can also be us judging other people saying, well, gosh, I don't understand why they can't jump in and help. What's going on in their life? Well, is it really up to another person to divulge all of their personal issues and their personal problems with you so that they understand, especially if it's one of your siblings that you're not very close to? No, it's not. This is where the idea of avoiding being angry and resentful and judgmental, those behaviors only poison the person who's feeling them. So is it worth poisoning yourself and being upset about the behaviors of another person when you can just choose to forgive and let it go and avoid the resentment and choose grace and choose happiness in your life and choose to do the things that you want to do for other people without worrying what everybody else is doing, without worrying what the world is doing? Family caregiving battles don't have to be battles. We choose to make them battles. And as individuals and as caregivers, we also now have the right to choose, because we want to be happy, people that we spend time with and people that we keep in our life and people that we love versus people that we say, no, you're a little too negative for me. You're not for me. I don't really want you in my life. And sometimes family members do this with other family members, and that's a choice that you have. But you don't really have to do that if you can be understanding and set boundaries to say, these are things I'll talk about with you, these are things I won't talk about with you, because I love you and I want to maintain that relationship. I'm Pamela D Wilson. Thanks for watching this video. Please press the share button, share it with other people that you know who are looking for hope, help, and support, and are looking how to navigate family relationships. On my website, a lot of hope, help, and support. My weekly podcast, The Caring Generation, lots of videos, articles, my caregiving blog, my free caregiving library, ways to schedule one-on-one Eldercare consultations with me. Have a fabulous day today. I'll see you soon again, or I'll see you. Have a fabulous day. I'll see you again soon in another video.